Choosing a Christmas tree should be fun, but you want to make sure that you've got the right Christmas tree, one that minimizes the fire hazard and doesn't make too much of a mess in your house. My favorite is this. It's a Fraser fir. Plantation grown, so it's been pruned up for the last few years to make it nice and thick. You can get lots of ornaments on it. It has a wonderful evergreen scent. It has a beautiful appearance with sort of a silvery appearance to the underside of the needles. And the needles aren't really needles. They're so soft you can actually caress them with your bare hand and they feel just fine. What a great tree. Retains its needles, reduces the fire hazard, and it smells great. Not only that, it's got a straight trunk. Another fir that's also well worth having is this one. This is the native North American balsam fir. Now, a balsam fir is very similar to the Fraser fir, but the needles are just a little thinner. It also grows more quickly, so the price of a balsam fir tends to be a little lower than that of a Fraser fir. However, now it's been nicely pruned up on the plantation, it too produces a really nice thick tree. Now, my number 3 choice is this. It's the old-fashioned Scotch pine, or rather, more accurately, Scots pine. But Scots pine doesn't allow you to put quite so many ornaments or lights on it because of its nature, and it also tends not to have a nice straight trunk like you get on the fir. So if you've ever experienced the frustration of putting a crooked tree into a tree stand, you might want to steer away from a Scots pine. However, it has good needle retention. Otherwise, it smells like an evergreen and it's not a bad tree at all. However, spruce is my last choice, and I mention that because spruce, regardless of the type, whether it's a white spruce, black spruce, Serbian, Norway, they have lousy needle retention. So my suggestion would be that you not get a spruce unless you're just bringing it indoors for just a few days and getting it back outside. Now, the thought might have occurred to you that it would be great to bring a potted tree indoors and then plant it in your yard after you've used it. The idea is only a good one if you're planning to bring the tree indoors for 4 or 5 days and no longer. See, once you get a tree that's got roots and is growing, in quotation marks, when you bring it indoors into our living temperature, it can easily be tricked into thinking that it's spring. It's time to break dormancy, time to start to grow. And as it starts to soften, you put it back outdoors for a Canadian winter and you shock it, and next thing you know, you got a dead tree. So it only works if you bring it indoors for 3 or 4, maybe 5 days at the most. Keep it away from the heat register. That's true for all of them. And when you're putting a cut tree indoors, make sure that you use a good Christmas tree stand with a big water reservoir and keep it topped up for a beautiful Christmas tree that's good and safe.